Okay, so we're live now. I'll just put on the intro. Hi folks, it's back to Q&A. Every 2 weeks I'll be doing this from 9:30, and I can see straight in there, buenas noches, and Linda's asking a question, obviously about Camp Petrol. Linda, what I can say is there are communal pools on most of the sectors. Depends what you're after, really. On a there are property that come with a communal pool, which is included in the price, really, but you do have to pay that every year for the communal pool, if that makes sense. And I know I don't think there's any on B, but I know on C, there's a different kind of make of villa, which I can't think of offhand, but they have a communal pool. So it all depends on what type of property you buy, really. And also I know on D, they've got a communal pool. It doesn't come with the standard Massa villas, but they come with, I think what it was a property that was built with, to do with the golf course. But thank you very much. Hope that's answered your question. There is communal pool, but usually those properties, especially on C and D, come with a community charge, whereas all the other properties on campus don't come with a community charge. So just bear that in mind as well if you're thinking about buying a property. JM, nice to see you. As far as I know, it's pretty good. I've had no problems around Camp Petrol or the Mavron area, and it's all the main networks. Richie, nice to see you. I bet it is. It's been quite hot. Are there any mountain bike groups on Camp Petrol? Good question, and I can't answer that one really. I mean, I know there are guys that get in the racing gear and they go off racing, but I don't know if it's actually a bike group. No doubt there would probably be a Spanish local group, especially up around Toltana and maybe Mavron, because the Spanish do love their bikes, but I'm not too sure about mountain bikes. But as far as I know on Camp Petrol, I don't know. But if anybody is watching, that would be good. Good evening. Robert, I'll be honest, I can't recommend any sort of rental agencies. The only one I obviously know on Camp Petrol is Another World Properties, because they do rentals for a couple months. That's a hard one, especially during the summer season. But I'm sure if you look on Google and tap in Mazaron, there's no doubt quite a few. Yeah, you'll be able to get a property for a couple of months, but don't forget, if you're only doing it for a month or so, you'll be paying a higher charge. Obviously, if you do anything over 3 months, which is sort of like long rental, yeah, it's gonna cost you less. So I'm just trying to catch up with Martin. Nice to see you. Victor, good evening. Yeah, I'm fine, thank you. Oh, Vinny's popped in. Have you got your tinny? No, I've got a bottle. I've got me Budweiser tonight. So I'm on the bottle. Evening. Keith has just popped in. Frank's just popped in. Do you know if there's any big price differences in the Neptuno villas? I'm seeing Neptuno. Yeah, I mean, that's another good one, Frank. As far as I know, prices haven't jumped up yet and prices haven't really dropped. But I think the reason why you're seeing two different sort of price ranges is obviously to do with the different areas. because you got the shops, so that they tend to be a little bit more pricey on A. And if you was on D, because it's a bit further out, there's no shops there on that, so you're a bit out in the wilds a bit. Price of property there is cheaper, but also some of the properties on D are a lot big. You get a bigger plot. So at the moment, there doesn't seem to be any price rises, but yeah, depending on the distances away from the shops, and that's the further they go away from the shops, the cheaper they get. And obviously on A, for some reason, well, not some reason, but mostly the properties on A are a little bit more expensive than on the other ones. And I've just missed, a little bit. Everybody's coming in now. Nice to see everybody. I'll try and click through as many as I can. I probably do miss some of the questions, and if I do, guys, I'm sorry about that. And if I do miss your questions, then at the end of the video, if you can put them on the end, and I'll try and answer that on another day. I don't try and miss it, but it's a bit odd. I really need 2 people on this, I think. Very, very true, John. Yeah. Hang on, have I missed one? Yeah, I've got Ian now. What else type? That, I think that all depends really what the property's got, really, because obviously I could say a Neptuno or a Fortuna. If the properties haven't got no heating, I mean, that's going to be a major problem. Some places have got central heating, some places haven't. Some have got pellet burners, some have just got a log fire. So I wouldn't like to say, because not every property, and there's numerous properties here on Campusole, different styles, that some haven't got heating. So it's no point me saying a Neptuno, because some Neptunos don't come. We got to remember, guys, when you're buying a villa, guys, sometimes the villas are just plain villas. They got no central heating, some have got no air conditioning, whereas you get another property that's got all the stuff. So it's something that when you're searching is to look for. And I'm moving on. Our only restrictions are that. Yeah. We're in phase 3 now, and virtually it sounds like we can travel into another area now, but I think we're all waiting for the June the 21st, where we can do a lot more. At the moment, yeah, there are still restrictions. We can go in a bar now, but it can only be so many people. So the restrictions are still on at the moment. So we're not out of it yet, unfortunately. Be nice to have street lights and see. Yeah, well, if you've been following it all, Clive, it's always been an ongoing thing, and I know Solvana has been on the case all the time. Sometimes the lights go on. I think yet again it's something else. If you're looking at property, check the areas that have got lights. Thankfully, where I am on A, we don't seem to get much problem with the lights, but I know you guys further out on, especially on C and D, do get a major problem with the lights, and every time they get them fixed or they don't get them fixed, it's an ongoing case, unfortunately. Got Dave hoping to come over soon and buy a property in Campusole. Was over last April, viewing for 2 weeks. Well done, Dave. Well, hopefully it sounds like July seems to be when they're going to open them up. Obviously, yet again, the news is up and down. 1 minute they're on about making sure the UK's coming here, the next thing they're not. But so keep following the local news. Check out the UK government site, a good site to keep an eye on. Another site worth looking at, guys, is the Spanish Citizen Advice. So it's a free site. Some good information on there, but obviously the UK site is probably the best one to get information, really. There's a lot of fake news going around at the moment. How's the weather? Fantastic, Steve. Another cloudless day, really. We have been getting the old winds in, admittedly, but that keeps us cool. But at long last, we've had some good weather. Was he was the subsidence problem on Sector C, says Frank. Yeah, well, that's another thing I've been talking about, isn't it? Right, Sean, have your electricity bill the last couple of months, if you don't mind sharing. You're on about the price? Okay. Now, when I first arrived here in Spain 4 years ago, we used to have the electric bill every 2 months. Now, for the past 2 years, it's been every month. It is quite, to me, I think it's expensive considering we live in a hot country and we've got lots of sun. And they just built a massive solar farm just outside of A now. And that does seem to differ. And I think also depends on what you have on your property. If you've got a swimming pool, then you're going to expect your electric bill during the summer months to be expensive. And on average, we usually pay about 60 a month. But during the summer months, because we've got the pump on all day, really, it's over the 100, probably about 110. Also, depends on the size of your property as well. But yeah, electric, I suppose on average, we're probably talking about 90 on average, I suppose, when you work it out for the year. So I'm just looking again there. So we're talking about, what we talking about here then? Is it? Yeah, Mick, it is. What I do now, this morning I'm out really early on. This morning I got up at 6:30. Me and Bonnie was doing a video walk on D, and we got up at 6:30 just before the sun come up. We didn't get back to about 10 o'clock, and it was getting a bit too hot for Bond then. So yeah, I go out about 7:30 on average in the morning. Usually back by about 9 because we stop. I've got a little dog group now, and we have a cup of coffee and a chat, and we're usually back in by 9. And then I used to take Bonnie out again sometimes about 8 o'clock in the evening now for about an hour's walk. Yeah, but it's getting hot now. But thankfully, because the floors are made of marble, she lays on that now. But she seems to cope. And I know there's quite a few dogs that are like I call husky dogs. They seem to cope well with it. But yeah, during the daytime, it's not a good idea putting dogs out because obviously the tiles get quite hot and burns the paws. Gavin, I'll be honest, I can't answer that question. But what I do know is if you go on to the Citizens Advice Spain, that would probably be a good site to go on to. Because you are entitled to certain things here in Spain, but I wouldn't know what they would be. But I would think the Citizens Advice Spain is a good site to check out for information like that. I'm fine, Aidan. I'm not too bad. I wish, yeah, well, sometimes you have to sacrifice yourself sometimes. So Oscar, we got 60 in. Right. Is it certainly safer to live in Spain than the UK? Can't wait to retire. Petition to kick in. Pension to kick in, I bet that meant phase 3 now, yeah. I mean, I think the thing is, where I am, this part of the southeast of Spain, because it's sort of more countrified here, I've been out a lot by myself, not even with Bonnie, and I feel, yeah, a lot safer than I would back where I used to live down in Poole and Dorset. Yeah, phase 3, bring on the 21st of June when things will get a bit better, hopefully. Yeah. Obviously, there's a lot of holiday homes here as well. I'm not going to say how many holiday homes are here, but yeah, life does get a lot busier during the summer. And obviously, a lot of people like me who obviously family tend to come over during the July and August when it's really at the hottest time. Obviously, they're all around the pool. And what I have found is, especially down in the pool and in Mavron itself, we get all the Spanish coming down from Madrid because they got their second holiday homes down here anyway, and you can hardly get out. So it's a bit of a godsend that here on campus, because we've got our own bars and restaurants, that we can survive. And also, if you've got a pool, you can cool off, which is fantastic. But yeah, it gets really busy during the summer months. Not to the extent where there's huge traffic jams, like some places. Good question, that. Now, because I'm a resident now, I was allowed to vote for the local council. Now, for obviously, I think for government things, you got to be a permanent resident for that. But for local elections, which are pretty important, really, I think. Yeah, we are allowed to vote, and thankfully here in campus, we actually got a councillor at long last. Stu, nice to see you. I'm just flicking through some here. Are there flights during the winters? Right, the main flights that come in mainly, obviously, is Alicante, because it's a massive airport there. And the one closer to us, which is Corvera Airport, is only about 30 minutes away. That doesn't tend to have many winter flights. It's still a very new open airport. That could change. Obviously, at the moment, things are up and down. But there are winter flights. A lot of people catch winter flights, but usually it's coming in from Alicante. I'm just... All right, Steve, I haven't noticed that yet, but funny enough, I did see on one of the Facebook, and this is the thing is, I think this is another thing with a lot of, I don't know, misinformation sometimes. As far as I've seen so far, there hasn't been no rise in any of the local restaurants and that. But what I have noticed is, like, I have my nails cut, those sort of things, like medical things and things like that. Those prices have gone up, and they put it down to, obviously, because they've got to use this COVID, to wear gloves and masks and things like that, and they're putting that on to us. So yeah, that could be something that's going to be a bit more noticeable, especially during the summer months. But at the moment, things are all right at the moment. There's been no massive price increases, but yeah, things can change so quickly here. Cheers, Barry. Good. That's nice to know, Frank. I'm a little bit away from the mic tonight, so there could be a bit of echoing, I suppose. I can hear my dog out the door, but I'm just going to ignore her at the moment. Darren, good. That's the main thing. Thanks for supporting. That's the main thing. Is Spain cheap to live? Heard it's cheap to live there. And I think this cheap thing about, I think we got to bear in mind, guys, here in Spain, people's wages are a lot different to the wages in the UK. And when you compare it, I think really, as long as you got, you obviously got your state pension, but you do need, I think, to be honest, to have a good life here, you need private pensions as well to fall on. I don't think you can live here in Spain just on your state pension, to be honest. If you're living by yourself, yeah, maybe. But if you got some extra money coming in, especially on your private pensions, it makes life a lot easier. But I wouldn't say it's that cheap. And from what I hear, some places, especially if you live in Madrid, it's not a lot of difference between that and the UK. But yeah, there are other certain things like council tax and things like that are a lot cheaper. But don't think it's a lot cheaper than what you see on some of these internet sites. What is the age group on campus mostly? Well, I would say, Robert, when I first arrived there, we're probably talking 60 upwards. But since I've been here, there's been a lot of younger people coming in, especially in the sort of mid 40s, 50s that are coming over with young families and that. Work-wise, I wouldn't know. All I can presume is that they're used, because there's not a lot of work here, guys. But what I have noticed is a lot of people do seem to be working online. That's where they seem to be getting their income from. And some people actually fly back to the UK to do work and then come back here for a bit of a break. There is a car rental shop on Campbellsall, yes, on A, but I can't think of the name. But it is there, and I know that there's some cars out in the car park at the moment. Yeah, I think what's been happening at the moment, Ryanair and EasyJet have been putting up flights, and then the next thing they're putting them down again. And I did hear somebody the other day who said that they actually got a refund. So still a bit hit and miss, because I know a lot of them of not getting their money back. But yeah, got to keep checking those airline sites, isn't it? Hi, Sean, Rod's in. Good to see you. Malcolm, I ain't got a clue. All I know is most agents seem to be using 2.5. Now, obviously, I don't know about when you're selling your property. I tend to keep out of all that sort of stuff. But to me, prices here in Spain, yeah, you got to forget about the UK when you come here. They do things their own way, yeah, and you've got to be so careful when you're buying and selling, because you always got to ask about the extras when you're buying a property, and obviously when you're selling a property. So yeah, you have to be so careful, guys. It's very true. Well, I've missed a couple of questions then. Are any car showrooms near Campbellsall? Yeah, Dave, good question. That now the nearest place that I tend to go to is Cartagena, because they've got them all there. You got Renault, Ford. I can't think of all those. All the major car names are in Cartagena. There are a couple down in Mazaron itself. I think you got Volkswagen and Suzuki, something like that. But in Cartagena, which is about an hour's drive away, that's where I bought my car from. You got all the main stock dealers there, but there's nothing on Campbellsall. There's a car lot down the bottom that does sell a big selection of cars, but proper car showrooms, you need to go to the big city places for that. Well, I missed somebody. All right, how are we doing? Been that price for ages. Yeah, good. Somebody's coming in with a good question there. Right, I watched the Homes from Hell episode. Is the houses in question near you? Well, when you say it's near me, yeah, it's not. I mean, we're probably talking about a 10-minute drive away. I can actually see them from my window. As far as I know, Lorraine, they're saying the 21st when things going to be getting a lot better, but it does sound like it's not until July the 1st when things will open up completely. Obviously at the moment Spain and France are up and down with their border thing, but it does sound like the 1st of July is the main date when the borders will be open up freely. But every day seems to be different with the government. Oh, see, Vinny's coming. That's the car rental place that's on Campbellsall Way. Are there any food that you love to eat in the UK but can't get in Campbellsall? No, not really. I think the only thing that I haven't seen here yet, I'm a great lover of Marmite, and I know Marmite has brought out a thing with peanut butter or something. I haven't seen that here yet. But any other food, we got a mini market here on A. On B, you got another sort of God, I keep forgetting their name. It's another supermarket. Obviously, you got the big Spanish supermarket Consum. You can virtually get any type of food. I think the variety of food is not as much as you would go and UK, if you went into like Tesco's and like that in the UK, you can get anything from around the world. You won't see that so much here in Spain, but there is quite a big selection of supermarkets, especially down here at the port, because you've got Aldi, Lidl, and you've got the Spanish ones. Can't think them off. Can't think them off now. And obviously you got the British supermarket, which is Tesco's, that's just opened up. So yeah, at the moment I don't see a problem with food. Do you see many cops around at night, Tom? I haven't seen a copper. I haven't seen a policeman, even with this lockdown, for a couple of weeks now. We've been out down the Cartagena and that. I know they're about because I've seen the car, but I haven't actually seen any police walking about. But they are about, obviously. But no, I haven't seen many about at the moment. Maybe they're having their holidays now. Right, so Vinny's come up with some prices out. Now, as far as I know, because I'm a bit sure about if you're selling the property, but as far as I know, they're all about 2.5 here. But obviously, I suppose that can vary from different parts of Spain. How cold does it get? I mean, Darren, when I say it gets cold, but not as cold as you always get it in the UK, where you got ice hanging off the windows. But I've had ice on the car. I'm not going to say I haven't, but what I always bang on about, you do need a property. If you're going to live here, you want to live here to enjoy your life. You need central heating. There's no point having a log fire, because those log fires, yeah, are fine. And I know some people probably say, well, we have no problem. But as far as I'm concerned, it only heats up that room. It doesn't heat up the whole property. So you need central heating. You know, come on. You're supposed to be living the life. So you've got to fork the money out. There's no point coming to Spain and just living on a farming. You come here to better your lifestyle. So, yeah, you need central heating. Listen to me. Yeah, well, funny enough, you saying that, and I know some of the bars here. Now, on a Friday, over the road here where I live on Cats, they do a fish and chips in beer batter. And I think on B, they sell, I mean, I never even heard of them because I'm a southerner, pucker pies. Yeah, they're really nice. And they do it all. But yeah, some of the bars do these things, which is pretty nice. How about Iceland? Yep, there is an Iceland at San Javier, which is about, I suppose, about an hour's drive away. To me, this British supermarket, Tesco's, I think they're all part of it, because we noticed the Iceland at San Javier also has, I'm trying to think about other UK white wines, whatever. They're part of it as well. We found them quite expensive, to be honest, but the Tesco's didn't seem too bad in price. But yeah, they're coming. So you're moving tomorrow, Steve? You devil, you. Good. We'll see you soon then. What is the best internet provider? Now, Lorraine, I'm going to say CompuServe, only because if you mention my name, I'll get a discount. I suppose it all depends on what you want, really. If you want super fast broadband, there are two. No, maybe there's three. You got, I think, you got Teletech and you got Telecable. I think I might have got that wrong. You obviously got CompuServe. Now, CompuServe is just a Wi-Fi internet provider. If that's what you want, go for them. Mention my name. There's WiMAX. So you have got a choice. If you want super fast broadband, yeah, Telecable and Teletext. So you got plenty of choice here. Now, I didn't know this, but apparently Spain is well ahead of the UK on internet services, even though I find that hard to believe sometimes. But that's what That's what the internet says. Right, I'm just going to put up a quick video now, guys, because I'm not going to get it on if I don't put it up now. This is my video for next Tuesday. This is a property. So welcome to Another Place in the Sun by Otherworld Properties. Got a table there so you could sit down and have a drink. Up the top there, you've got a couple of balconies to look down on your pool, and obviously a mile of the views in the area. Okay, I'm just going to whack up another one before I forget about it. This is another video I've done. Today I'm speaking to Greg Truman. I forgot your name there, Greg. And Greg's the locksmith on Campersol.
Okay, this is the standard Euro cylinder that's placed in most of the houses here on Campersol. So it locks there, so that's locked now. Don't need the key anymore. And open the door in just a matter of seconds.
So that took a matter of seconds, really. It just shows you how quick they can get in there. Okay, I'm back now. I think anyway, what the question I saw then was, do I feel any healthier than I didn't? Yeah, I can simply say that, and mainly that's to do because I can get outside. When I was back in the UK, especially at the weekends, when I was obviously still working at weekends with my free time, looking forward to going out, and the weather is pants. Whereas here we've had a panty sort of winter, but it's most days I wake up and it's clear sky, and you just feel so much better. You know, yeah, I feel so much better in myself because I enjoy going out, and I'm just gonna whack in. I've missed. Oh, sorry, guys, I did miss out a bit there. Did you purely choose Campersol due to the great property prices? No, I didn't. We'd hired a camper van and come down the coast side, and we didn't really have Campersol on the map at the time. We went and stayed down at the port, and I got up in the morning. I took Bonnie down on the beach, and when the sun come up, I said, "That's it. We're living there." Now that was down on the port. It's only when we started looking for property, obviously there at Campersol, the prices took a right, and then we did a good 2 or 3 days looking around. We then went back to the UK. We still kept researching. We then come back. Yeah. So the prices obviously was a big help, but it was actually the area that I loved that took me eye first. So Lee's just popped in. I'm just trying to catch up now. I obviously missed a lot. Is petrol cheap at the moment? No, it's gone back up. It's not as much as it was at the beginning of the year, but it's getting there. I mean, I think 2 weeks ago I put in €20 and it filled my tank up. That was fantastic because it was less than I think it was like 90 cents. I do believe that there's still a few petrol stations about, and don't forget also here, guys, diesel is cheaper than normal petrol, so that's another bonus because I've still got a diesel car. Yeah, Lee's in. He's saying hello, everybody. Kev's in. I didn't say hello to you, Kev. I know I keep saying it, but I think the music you use is brilliant. Thank you. Yeah, I'll try and have a good selection of music. How much could you live? Right, Hayden, I've done a few videos in my playlist, and what I try and do, since we've been here for 4 years now, we've always transferred £1,000 sterling, and obviously depending on the blooming exchange rate, we used to get about 1,200, and I think last year it went down to 1,080. But we try and compare a pound to the euro. It's sort of creeping up a little bit, but it hasn't been fantastic. But we've can, if we keep everything tight, we can still live on $1,000 a month. But obviously, we do put in extra money now to keep us ticking over because we've got things to do. You know, like keeping the property up. Can you? Right? No. You. As far as I'm concerned, you need a car. Public transport. There is a bus that it comes into A. I'm not too sure if it comes into B as well. There's a bus that goes to some of the towns and that. The nearest train station is about 10 miles away. But to be honest, because Spain's such a vast country and they've got a fantastic road system, you need a car. I mean, even living on Campersol, you know, if you're even on, as far as I can see, even if you're living on A, you need a car because you got to go to the hospital. The nearest main hospital for us is Cartagena. That's an hour's drive away. You won't get a bus to that place because you want to get there and back in the day. So you need a car, guys. And a lot of people keep asking about this. You can't really, I mean, obviously when you get really old, you're going to have to rely on other people. But if you're coming here at a younger age, that you need a car, you know. I mean, yeah, there's some fantastic bargains looking around, but I think the thing is, it's not all about the price. It's actually the area and what it gives you. I mean, my folks live down near Malaga way, and I've been going out here since sort of late 80s, and I love that area. But the price of properties are so expensive, but also it changed so quickly. You know, in those 20 years, they put in motorways, the towns got bigger into like cities, it got more noisy. So, you know, there's some bargains in Spain, like there's bargains everywhere around the world. But you want to make sure that it's the area you love as well. There's no point in buying a fantastic home and you just don't love it. You know, it's got to be both things, isn't it, guys? Hang on, I've just seen one again. Yeah. It does it restrict me a bit. I try and get out in the mornings if I can because if I go out midday, it's just too hot. It's not just me. It's obviously the equipment gets a bit over hot as well, especially with drones and that. In August, I can't fly my drone during sort of like midday because it's just too hot for it. But myself, yeah, I find it too hot. It just takes me in. So I try and maybe plan things a little bit differently. Try not to go out so far. But yeah, it can do, especially during the August month. It's a bit of a killer. No, I'm just not. I mean, my wife's got a Spanish lesson tomorrow, and what I tend to do is try and get it. I just ain't got the hang of it, guys. I don't even understand the frigging English side of it, let alone the Spanish side. But I am trying. I got a Spanish friend now, Antonio. He feels like he wants to strangle me sometimes. We are painting our house to get ready for the selling moving over. We got online business, so it should be fine. Yeah, I think if you got an online business, and I know quite a few people that do that and seem to be making a good living out of that, and I think that's a good way to go these days. Bonnie, yeah, I wish Bonnie was. Can you still drive on the UK? I don't know, Malcolm. That's a good question, that, because I've converted over to the other side now. I think I could. I mean, I've been coming here for years anyway. But what I did notice, there's still quite a few people I noticed that's got right-hand drive cars here driving around. It's a bit difficult in the roundabout, so I just bought a Spanish car and coat that. Yeah, but I think if I went back to the UK, touch wood, I should be all right. Good. Okay, I'm just gonna put up another last video because this might be interesting to some people. Hang on, we'll just go back there. We'll just put that off a minute. Oh, all right. Okay, so put up one more video. Something I'm not going to put out yet. God, it's pushing these buttons. So it's the 10th of June 2020. We're still in the lockdown, but we're coming out of it. Well, I'm on the MCC, which is the Mazaron Country Club. A lot of property getting built. I've just shown you a couple of plots. One's up for sale, one's been sold already. So I don't know what's going on. Just down there is a place that they've stopped for the moment. But yeah, good to see. Right, just go back to the comments. Yeah, it's good to see, because I thought, especially during the the lockdown, there was Spain last year was just starting to pick up. There's a lot of new builds going on up the Condado. They're building 3 new blocks, and just down the road at the that video clip you just saw then was the Mazaron Country Club. They're building these what I call shoebox houses with little pools, and they were building them. And I thought I'd just check the other day just to see how they were going on, and how they were still carrying on building, which is good, because I did think maybe that they all stopped building, but it's nice to see. And I have been hyping on about if you're buying an off-plan property, just be so careful, guys. I know things have changed since 2008 and that, but there's, especially down at the Marmignol area, there's building down there. And they the actual government put a block on it, and I know some people would put deposits down now. So, but it was nice to see when I went out yesterday that they're rebuilding again, which is good. So hopefully things are picking up again. Now, those Neptunos, now some of them will have interior staircases, so don't think about you have to go outside your door, because don't forget yeah, I know what you're on about now. Yeah, most of them are outside staircases. Obviously most of the properties have outside staircases to go up onto your sunroof, but the Neptunos do have, some of them do have interior ones, which obviously is a lot better. But good point, that. Yeah, so Kev's just mentioned that, which is good. Yeah. So Lee's on about his thingy. Yeah, so Steve's just coming on that as well. Oh, hang on. Yeah. Yeah, Vinny's very true that when it does rain, it's hard to believe, but it's actually warm. I mean, another thing, what amazes me, sometimes I come in this basement and I'm doing the work. It's perfectly sunny. Come in here, I'll go out the door, pinging down the rain, and then within about an hour, the sun's back out. You might even know it's rained. You know, it is bizarre, but yeah, Vinny's right. It's warm rain, not boiling. Linda, good question. That no, I was about to, there is actually a estate agent on Campus Soul, which is an Irish. There's quite a lot of Irish people here, funny enough. Yeah, and I'm talking all over Ireland as well. I mean, the community is a mixture. Obviously, we've got Welsh, Scottish, English, and Irish. Yeah, there is a big. I think on the Condado, there's actually an Irish pub. I think it's called the Shamrock. Yeah, so there are people here. So you you won't be out of place, and it's some lovely people. Yeah. Do you ever get bored? No, I'll be honest. I think, yeah, you got to have a routine. You know, obviously I get up at 7:30 to take Bonnie out for a walk. That sometimes differs depending on what I want to do. And then, you know, you have a routine for the day, don't you? But to be quite honest, what I can't believe is how quick the day goes. And once you meet people here in Spain, they all agree they don't know what day it is. The days just go so quickly. You know, we try and make the weekends a weekend, you know, where we don't do nothing, like we don't do nothing in the week, really, I suppose. But we try and make the weekend a weekend. But you speak to a lot of people that live out in Spain, even they don't know what day it is, even though I know today is Thursday. So we're doing a bit of chatting there then. Are there any Scandinavian cities? I wouldn't know. I would imagine there is. Yeah, I would imagine there is. That's it. I got it wrong, didn't I? It must be this Budweiser that's doing it. It's the Clover. This shows you how many times I go up there. How much did your place cost? If I may, funny enough, I've done a video on my place the day that I bought my property. I think I said the price. I think we paid 150,000 for it. We got a 2-bed, 2-bathroom property, but obviously we got a basement as well. We don't include that in with it because we don't live down here. It's just our extra space. I wouldn't say really the price of properties changed a lot. Thankfully, it hasn't gone down, but it hasn't. I wouldn't say it's gone up hugely or anything like that. And I ain't spent a lot on it. Are there shops open? Are all the shops open now? What about a Chinese shop? Yeah, I would say all the shops are open now, as far as I know. The Chinese opened up. If you're on about a Chinese on campus, so that opened up last week. But I know some of the other Chinese shops opened up a couple of weeks back. Our favourite Chinese restaurant in the port has opened up. I haven't been down to. Looking forward to going back down there. But yeah. But yeah, most of the shops, and as far as I know, we went into IKEA a couple of weeks ago. Some of the shops were only had part open. Well, they're fully opened up now. All the shopping malls are open. What I did notice in IKEA, if there's any IKEA lovers there, is that just checking the time. Is the food part, the supermarket part wasn't open. The cafe was open, so. Things are getting back to normal, and I think bars and restaurants should be after the 21st be up and running completely. And they've been having a hard time. No San Miguel, not at the moment. I'm on the Budweisers. Good question, that Steve. That does seem to be a bit of a debate. One day they seem to be chatting with the UK. I know Portugal's opened up. They call it a corridor. What that's about, I ain't got a clue. But as far as I know, Spain and the UK are having a bit of a tiffy. I don't know if that's to do with Gibraltar, but as far as I know, it sounds like July the 1st seems to be the day that the borders are opening up for everybody. But every day looking at the Spanish news, it does seem to change a bit. Now, I watch Spain Speaks, fantastic channel, and he admits it's up and down. You know, one day they're saying, yeah, all you lot can come in, and then the next day they say, you ain't coming here yet. But yeah, I think July the 1st does seem to be the main day. But I know June the 21st, when it sounds like lockdown from the national government is releasing, but then it's up to regional governments. And don't forget, here in this part, the Mercia region, they started their lockdown before the national government did. So yeah, it's pretty drastic. Right, can you go on for longer than 1 hour tonight? No. And the reason why I'm not, I'll stick to my hour, mainly because it does get hot in here, and if I put my fan on, you won't be able to hear me. So I think an hour is enough for me. But you can always wait until the 25th. It soon flies by. That's what I say. Only state agencies are not fully operating. Well, as far as I know, they are. Vinny's open. I don't know what you mean by that. I mean, maybe are you on about actually touring villas and that? I don't know. But as far as I know, yeah, they should be up and working again. I'll be honest, I can't say about are they taking people around looking at properties. I don't know that one. 1st of July, says Malcolm. Oh, yeah, we're all the same, aren't we? End of the day. That's what I mean. It does seem to differ each day, and I suppose the thing is, I mean, I look on Facebook a lot, and it does seem to be a bit of conflicting reports on there. But it does keep saying the 1st of July does seem to be when all things go back. I mean, I know the EU want to open up all the borders now, and Spain and France have said no. They'll open up when they think they're ready. Can you talk us through your bookcase, please? You have some interesting looking pieces. Pieces of what, as always says. Yeah, so Vinny said it as well. I mean, that's what I mean. It's still this to and fro. Yeah, I know Portugal. 1 minute Portugal was quite happy to let everybody in, and then during the week they said no, but now they're saying yes again. Obviously, we know Greece, but they've got their own sort of checking system, haven't they? And I'm not too sure. Maybe that they'll be trying to work something out like that here, no doubt. But I'm sure by July the 1st, that's the time when they want everything to sort of get back to some sort of normality. Yeah, we're in the flow at the moment. How many times a week do you get that massive breakfast? To be honest, Steve, that was a one-off. And to be honest, that breakfast was just too much for me. You know what? In the morning for my breakfast, it's a cup of tea and a piece of toast, believe it or not. Once I'm fully awake during the day, then, you know, I start eating bigger meals. But that breakfast was a one-off. If Harvey's watching tonight, that was a fantastic breakfast, but yeah, it was a bit too much for me. I haven't got used to that yet. Can you do a vid about second-hand car sale? I'll be honest, Andy, that ain't gonna happen. Second-hand cars here, I don't really know a lot about cars anyway. And when I bought my UK car into Spain, I had a job trying to sell it. All the places that said they would accept a second-hand car, they said they got too many of them. In the end, I had to take my car back to the UK and sell it, which was a bit of a pain, really. Even trying to trade it in for a brand new car, I had a job. And I don't really know anybody that deals with second-hand cars, unfortunately, unless there's somebody on watching here who does deal with second-hand cars, wants to get in contact with me. I'm quite happy to do something then. I've just clicked on that, haven't I? Right. What did I do before I retired? Well, I used to work for many companies, but mainly it was to do with I was a courier. I was a lorry driver delivering parcels. I'd come out of the army and I went into Securical, and like all companies, they flog them off to other companies. And it was DHL, and then it was that crappy company that's still going now, Yodel, that then decided to shut our branch down, make me redundant. But thankfully, because they'd done that, that kicked me up the arse to say that's it. And that's why we moved to Spain a little bit earlier than we would have done. But yeah, I enjoyed being a courier driver. Fantastic job. Done me well. Jim's just popped in. Oh, Jim, you got 5 minutes more of me. You want to put up with me for 5 more minutes? Right, Linda's asking what type of villa did I buy? I bought a Rosa. Yeah. You know what? They got so many villas there. I do get confused. I know I haven't got a Neptune. No, I got a Rosa, which is a 2-bed, 2-bathroom property. Fantastic for me because it's got a fantastic view. But I mean, I wanted to get a Neptune, but unfortunately I didn't have the money for that. But I'm quite happy with what I got, which is a Rosa. And I've done a video a couple of weeks back. If you check it out, I think I called it the day I bought my villa. So check out the playlist. Yeah, see, a lot of us are ex-service. There's a lot of ex-servicemen out here anyway. There's a lot of policemen out here as well, which is pretty amazing. No, you know what? I haven't read a newspaper, except I do flick through the free magazines that we get given to us. I flick through. I never bother. I haven't bothered the newspaper, I think, for about 20 years now. I find Facebook's a bit like a newspaper, isn't it? Have you got used to wearing the mask? Yeah, it's a weird thing, isn't it? I never like wearing things over my face like that. It's the times that you have to wear a mask, obviously, is when you go into the buildings. Now, when we go into the shopping centre, we have to wear a mask. When we go into the supermarket, we have to wear a mask. My wife's made some masks that are quite easily put on. I've got mine now, just to show you, because we're supposed to carry a mask, making it, man. Is it? You got to be wearing a mask. So yeah, so I'm all geared up for it. But yeah, you got to carry a mask on you now. In Spain, they made it law. I think it's €100. If you're within 1.5 meters from somebody not wearing your mask, that you get fined on the spot. Now, I expect in the UK you get a clip on the ear roll, I suppose, wouldn't you? But yeah, I've got quite used to it now. It doesn't bother me really. I think it's there for a reason. My move, well, that's a bit. That can take a long time to explain that, but I would say it went pretty well, really. Out of 100, I suppose about 90. We had a couple of problems trying to move from the UK because our sale went through during the Christmas period. So trying to get people to do it wasn't that easy. Yeah, Malcolm saying it's a must. Yeah, I mean that's why I carry them on all the time. I keep telling my wife, keep it on you. Yeah, I'll be honest. I admire the courier drivers because I know what horrible job it is trying to find people that gives you half of your address. Right, guys, it's coming up to our past. If you've got any more questions that you want me to try and answer, put them under the comments there after the video's finished, and I will try and answer it. Yes, my wife is a woman of many talents, and it's time to say goodbye and adios, amigos. But I want to say thank you very much. I'll catch you in 2 weeks' time, the 25th. Hope you enjoyed it. That's the main thing. Got 86. That is amazing. Oh, no. What we've done now, press the wrong button, see, not used to this. So anyway, guys, thank you very much. I'll catch you next time.